25, 27, 32. Hi, I'm Eric, and what am I doing? I'm looking at bad video games. Why though? Well, it's not for fun if that's for something. I'm trying to figure out some of the worst games of all time, and thanks to my good friend Metacritic, well, I know that answer now. When it comes to video games, not everyone can be amazing, or good. You need to at least have a couple stinkers here and there. For every copy of Mario Wonder, you need at least 7 copies of Mighty Number 9. Maybe even 9, I dare say. Metacritic is the best place to go when you want to see some ratings for your favorite games. But what if you click to page 568 of the game section? Oh my god! I know, right? Bad video games. But the real question is, what are the top 10 worst of them? Drake of the 99 Dragons, aka Huh? This is one of those games around the 6th generation that looked kind of cool. It was going to have a comic and a TV show to explain the whole story, but those didn't happen. The art style was nice, and it looked like it was going to be a very good game through some of the marketing. But guess what? It wasn't good. It just sucks that the gameplay was trash. Like, how on earth do you make a game look this interesting, but so bad? This game sits rightfully deserved at a 22 on Metacritic. I myself would love to take a deeper dive into this game, but that will have to wait for some other time in the future. It will only get worse from here. Imagine a game so bad that's such a horrible sequel that the developers have to actually apologize and practically refund everyone in the process who purchased it. That's what Redacted Studios did for Afro Samurai 2: The Revenge of Kuma. The game was deemed a complete failure by the developers, and was pulled from all online storefronts. I've never played the original Afro Samurai, but considering the first one is still around and people still talk about it, and this one's just kind of a... Yeah, I can see why it's on this list. It's hard to make a sequel to a game. There's a lot to live up to, there's a lot people are expecting out of you, but to make an absolute garbage game, that's not very hard. World War Z. Wait, but not the very mediocre movie starring Brad Pitt. The bad video game with a similar sounding name. This game fell into trademark troubles due to its name, way before its release, and it was also littered with multitude of problems around its pre-alpha phase. It would be until release that players found out there was a lot of bad game design and microtransactions galore, because who does not like microtransactions? Getting around a 20 on Metacritic, the servers were shut down for this game around 2016 and absolutely nobody cared. Except for the one guy that was probably still playing it. He might have cared. Do you think he might have cared? Howie Mandel is just scary. Also, this is a bad game. This ain't no Deal or No Deal on Wii. This is Deal or No Deal on DS, baby. This took almost everything from the game show and made it boring. Even though the game show itself is kind of boring to begin with. Deal or No Deal? No deal. How about that? Alone in the Dark is one of those grandfather games of survival horror. A groundbreaking series creating many of the building blocks we see today in games like Resident Evil. But after the games went to a deep sleep and the 7th generation of systems is approaching, of course it's a great idea to open up that casket. Now that game didn't do so hot, breaking shy of a 50-something on Metacritic. So of course the great idea was to make a sequel to this game in 2015. Alone in the Dark Illumination. It was exclusive to PC, and it's not really a good thing that it was. Getting around a 19 on Metacritic? Let's just hope they don't try to remake this game ever again. Oh dear God. Yeah, this is one of those games that's very infamous for being bad. This is one of those games that would have sank into complete obscurity if it wasn't for how bad it was. To the glitchy game design, to the horrible voice acting, to the love scenes? This game has been a talking topic for a good while now, as how can you not talk about one of the worst games ever made? This is a game deserving of its 19 Metacritic score, but I really wish it could be a lot lower. This is another one of those games I kind of want to look at in the future, so you'll get a more of an in-depth review later on. WiiWare, remember that? Kind of. WiiWare was a part of the Wii digital storefront on the Nintendo Wii. It offered original games ranging in quality, and Spogs was definitely the worst one. When WiiWare shut down, we lost access to some great, even amazing games that were well hidden on the service. But this 18 Metacritic score pile of crap? Yeah, that's a pretty good thing it's gone. Sometimes it's a good thing when a storefront gets shut down. You might lose some good, even great games, obviously, but hey, at least you don't have to look at Spogs anymore. One of the first indie games in the Switch eShop, and yeah, it ain't that good. It's a very unappealing game that makes you wonder if the devs thought this was going to make them big money because of being on the Switch. Well, all I got was a 17 in Metacritic. With all the bullcrap that's flooded the eShop nowadays, it's kind of crazy how this was considered bad in the very beginning, when there's a lot worse stuff now. Yaris is a game that sits in the same place as both Spot and Chex Quest, being games that are also advertising something. The difference with Yaris is that it sucks. Sitting with a 17 in Metacritic, this game is bad, from being a broken, buggy mess to being way too difficult to the average player. Even though it was completely free, that's still asking way too much for a game as bad as this. Not a single person shed a single tear when this was delisted from the Xbox Live Arcade around 2008, only a year after it released. The thing with the promotional game is that it should make you want to go out and buy the thing it's promoting. Who actually went out and bought a Toyota Yaris? Probably nobody. Family Party 30 Great Games for the Wii U should definitely be retitled Family Party 30 Bad Games, as this game is by far the worst game ever made. I know the Wii U was not the best console, and it too had some bad games released on it. But the fact this game has an 11 on Metacritic and is regarded as the worst ever? Yikes! Almost makes you wish no game was bad, at least not worse than this game. And with this, that brings an end to the 10 worst games on Metacritic. Bad video games are just inevitable. Sometimes the developers will just miss the mark. I say you should at least give a game a shot no matter what. Because again, it's up to you, not the critic. They can tell you what you can and cannot like. But if I see you driving around a Toyota Yaris and you say Yaris is your favorite game, f*** you.